Hey guys, this is Justin Southworth, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the August Moon Podcast. And today, I want to talk to you about a subject that a lot of you may not have thought about, but it is taking care of your health while you travel. Now, a lot of people that I talk to tell me that they don't feel that they can eat healthy or that they can eat tasty foods while they travel and maintain their health. They seem to put on some weight and things seem to go awry, and then they come back and they tell me they're going to set this goal to go to the gym and try to recover and do all these things. And I'm thinking, this is not a vacation then if you have to then come back and recover from it and do this drastic thing. So there are some simple things you can do where you can still eat healthy, still have a good time. You don't have to skip eating something like a sweet once in a while, and you can still have a level of health. Now, I was traveling from southern Arizona up to Utah, and I was in the bottom half of the state, and I ended up being in the middle of nowhere. There was a little town that had probably 2,000 people living in it. And I was very hungry, hadn't eaten the whole entire time. I had been on the road for about 6 or 8 hours, was exhausted. And I ended up finding this little grocery store. And even there, I was able to buy myself some fruit. I was able to buy myself some a kombucha and a few other things that allowed me to still maintain my health and feel good about myself. So there are ways that you can do this and still stay healthy. Now, there are a few supplements that I take, and I think that they are probably the most important supplements that you can take if you were to take nothing else. And that is, I truly believe you should be taking vitamin D for an adult, 5,000 units every day. You should be taking B vitamins, and you want to make sure they're not synthetic, that they come from a natural whole food source. And the next one is zinc. And I've mentioned for men 50 milligrams and upping it to 100 when you feel like you have gotten in a situation where you might be exposed to more germs, or it's not clean, or you're in an enclosed place like an office or bus, train, airplane, anything like that. And you might do that just for like a week or so, just to give yourself that boost. And for women, I recommend taking at least 25 milligrams and then upping that to 50 when you feel like you're in a compromised situation. Magnesium is the next one, and I really, really have to stress this is important. I was just reading today that about 40 to 50% of people in the US, adults, have sciatic pain of some type. And also back pain is like off the charts, the amount of people getting it, and they're getting hooked to pain pills when they could avoid a lot of it if they had been taking the magnesium at high enough dose. So I recommend taking that, and when you take magnesium, make sure you're taking a magnesium chelate. Then the next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're taking a copper supplement. I don't take it every day, but I may take it 3 or 4 times a week, sometimes as many as 5. I just don't think you need it every day, but what happens is zinc competes for absorption with copper, and you need a small amount of trace copper in your body for optimum health. And you don't want the zinc depleting your copper levels. So make sure you're doing that. And let's see, the last thing that I recommend is taking a probiotic supplement or doing something like hormone-free yogurt. Most yogurts that I see are hormone-free, unless you're using some of these really highly processed ones that are at some grocery stores. But even then, at those grocery stores, I see yogurts that don't have hormones added to the cows or given to the cows. And you can also do kefir, which is kind of like a liquid yogurt, and I like the plain one. I also like a goat kefir. Tastes really good. You can drink it. It's a good source of probiotics. And when you can't do that, there are at health food stores shelf-stable probiotics, which mean they don't need to be refrigerated, because normally you find probiotics in the refrigerated section. And the probiotics, they have found a correlation between the friendly bacteria in your gut and your mental health and your anxiety levels. And they actually did a thing where they took these mice and they actually depleted them of all the probiotics in their system. And their anxiety went through the roof. But when they cut their vagus nerve, they found that that problem stopped. So they also found that when they replenished the bacteria and gave them high levels of it, their anxiety and their depression went down. And the same goes with humans. So those are the important things that I recommend you take with you on a trip, wherever you go. And I am currently in the process of preparing to move to Colombia. And it's going to be quite a transition because I can't bring a lot of stuff with me. I can only pack maybe a couple suitcases and 1 or 2 carry-ons, if that. And so, for me, how am I going to maintain my health? Well, one thing is, in advance, I'm going to do a little bit of research on the area, and I'm going to try to find places I can buy foods that I'm used to eating, like the quality, maybe more organic, fresh fruits and vegetables that I trust, and I'm going to talk to some of the local people about it. And also I'm going to bring those supplements that I recommended to you, and I'm going to bring a 2 to 3 month supply so that I have enough for the time that I'm going to be there before I return back to the US to restock up. And that is what I'm going to do. And you can do a very similar thing when you're traveling. Pack enough supplements that you can have them last the whole entire trip, but you don't want to, of course, bring so much stuff that you're paying a huge amount of money to the airline to carry extra bags for these things. Another thing to note is with supplements that you want to be careful of a couple things. One is you don't want them exposed to heat because it will degrade them. The amount of the supplement in there will break down and it just won't be the same, or it will be destroyed entirely. And also plastic bottles, which most supplements are packaged in, they tend to leach chemical estrogens, which then put estrogen in your body, and it can, for men, lower their testosterone over time. It's cancerous for women, creates a whole host of problems, and it's just not good. The next thing is, when you're in a hotel room or Airbnb or any kind of place that you might be staying, even with friends, even in your home, you want to make sure that the supplements you're taking, you do not store in like a medicine cabinet or in your kitchen where it's near the stove and there's humidity from like either the bathroom, from your shower and bathtub, to the kitchen where there could be steam from pots and pans and from other things you're cooking and from the oven, and over time that does degrade your supplements. So keep that in mind. And when you're traveling, you don't want to leave your supplements in a hot car. Try to keep them in a room temperature, hotel room, whenever possible, or location, so that you just can get the best results from your supplements and not waste your money. Because there's no point in buying all these supplements if you're just going to have them get degraded and not even be containing the amounts that they say they have, and what's the point in taking at that point? Now, I do want to mention that I have 2 products that I have created, and they are very great for using when you're traveling. The first one, which probably is the most important, is my sleep formula. Now it's 100% organic, and what I've done is I've worked tirelessly to make sure that it combats the 3 main causes of sleep issues. Now, the first main issue that people have that keeps them from sleeping is they jump into bed and their mind starts churning with thought after thought after thought, and they cannot seem to fall asleep. The next one is between 2 and 3 in the morning, people tend to wake up and then they tell me they can't sleep for an hour or 2 or more before falling back asleep. And the third thing is your body's inability to relax. So your muscles aren't being able to relax, your tendons and joints. You might even be experiencing some pain or discomfort. And restless leg syndrome is also something that goes on. And I will tell you that restless leg syndrome is actually a nutrient deficiency. And to treat it, if you take the proper amounts of magnesium, chelate, and you eat potassium-rich foods, or do things to make sure you're getting enough potassium, you don't get that at all. So my sleep formula, one thing I've done is people don't know that taking less melatonin is actually more potent than taking more. And a lot of times when you're buying melatonin at a health food store or online, it's way too strong for you. And I have put just a small amount in there, just enough to help you get the sleep you need. And then I've put some magnesium in there so that you can get that relaxation, because magnesium does this to your muscles, relaxing them, and calcium causes it to contract. So frequently you're having muscle cramps and spasms from your muscles not being able to relax. And another thing that happens is people have heart attacks because their heart is spasming, it's trying to relax, but it can't because of the lack of magnesium. So I've done that, then I've combined some organic herbs like passion flower, skullcap, magnolia bark to kind of help you gently be able to let your body peacefully fall into a sleep and stay asleep through the entire night so that you do not wake up groggy. And this can be very useful if you're traveling. The little small amount of melatonin can readjust your biological clock to a new time zone. The herbs and the other nutrients in there will help your body gently relax and be at peace, especially if you're sleeping in a new bed, a new environment, and sometimes you just don't sleep the same when you're not in your own bed at home. And it can be very helpful when you're on the plane if you need something to help yourself relax and to get a little bit of sleep. Now, the next one that I have that could really help you is my daytime stress formula. Now, my daytime stress formula is also 100% organic, the herbs and whatnot. There are some additional nutrients in there to help your body combat stress. And I've included things like organic lavender, organic rose petal, organic chamomile to help your body and your nerves and your whatever be able to gently let the electrical impulses of messages firing down through your nervous system and let them calm down, and also prevent your organs such as your adrenal glands from pumping out adrenaline and cortisol, which are stress hormones, and it can help you just achieve some more calm and peace throughout your day. Our lives are very busy, they're very hurried, and a lot of times we don't take the time to make being calm, being at peace, having fun in our life a priority. We go from our job to our home to this obligation to that obligation, and we never really take personal time. And when we do, we're not truly relaxing because we've still got some tension built up from the previous activities we've done. if we started to make these things more of a priority, relaxing and having fun, a lot of health problems would start to die down. Heart problems would die down, a lot of degenerative diseases would lessen, and putting on weight from anxiety, stress, and depression would die down as well. So these two supplements can be very good when you're traveling. The August Moon Sleep Support and the August Moon Stress Support. If you're interested in learning about them, you can find them at august-moon.com. Again, that's august-moon.com. You can learn about them. You can also read my blog. I talk about different health topics there, very short, to the point, little things to give you a little boost of information to help you with different health concerns, and also know about supplements and things along that line. So these are a few of my tips. I highly recommend that you see if they don't help you in your travels. Before I leave, I'm just going to mention that in reference to COVID, they found that the people that got COVID, and this is researchers, and this is published, you can go to PubMed and look this up, PubMed.com, but they found that the people that were lowest in vitamin D, B vitamins, and zinc were the people that most often got COVID and actually had the worst case of COVID and were more likely to die. Now, one of the symptoms of COVID is you lose your sense of smell, and zinc is responsible for your sense of smell. So what happens is you're so deficient already that it sucks the little bit of zinc out as your immune system is revved into high gear, and you're needing zinc for your immune system to function properly. And then as you lose your zinc, your sense of smell goes, and your taste. Now if you're taking enough zinc, you don't have that problem. And then the last thing that they found is they weren't taking enough vitamin D. So if you take those things like colds, flus, a lot of things like that, any viral infection, you just don't get them the same way. So those are my recommendations. And if they help you, please send me a comment if you like. You can either respond to this video, or you can email me if you're listening to this at justin@august-moon.com. Again, that's justin@august-moon.com. And if you have any topics you think I should discuss in the future, I would love to hear from you. And if there's anything you'd like to know about nutritional supplements, health related, or anything like that, I'd also love to hear about that. Or if you have any success stories with either using my products or the supplements that I recommend, please let me know. And I look forward to chatting with you in the next episode of August Moon podcast. And so I will leave you with this and chat with you next time. Take care, guys.